Well, this is something I've become ever more involved in as my career has matured. And, for me, it's been a learning process, but I've become better and better at, identifying problems that we can solve with new technologies in my academic lab, and then how to translate the technology into a new company or license to an existing company, and how to shepherd the technology all the way to the clinic, right? We call it from bench to bedside. I've gotten better at that over the years. So, I had those two companies from Berkeley, which you mentioned. The first one was actually co-founded with my postdoc advisor, and it was based on some science from his lab. But Redwood Bioscience was the first company that I spun out of my own lab with technology that invented by my students and me at Berkeley. And then when I moved to Stanford in 2015, my entrepreneurship really took off. And since I moved to Stanford, I've formed another, I think, 8 companies just in 7 years here at Stanford. So that's a lot. And Stanford is particularly well suited for this kind of translational work, I've discovered. First of all, I'm in Silicon Valley now, and I'm surrounded by people in the investment community. And so the connections have become much stronger just simply because of geography. Also, Stanford kind of has a long history of being a place that's very entrepreneurial and easy to start companies out of. And my students and postdocs at Stanford, they have an appetite for this kind of thing. So nowadays, it's not uncommon for a PhD student, when they join my lab, to actually craft a thesis project intentionally so that there might be an opportunity to spin out their work into a new company, which they would then co-found. And that's happened with a number of my Stanford students. And over the years, I've gotten better at figuring out, which technologies have value and which technologies are uniquely suited to fulfill unmet needs, and how you prioritize programs when you start a company, and how you recruit the founding team, how you finance those companies, and how you shepherd, your molecules with all the decision making that goes into it so that you can actually have clinical candidates in a timely manner. So, 2 of my companies have put molecules into the clinic so far. Some of my companies are diagnostic testing companies, and 2 of them also already have products now that they market. So they've transitioned into being not just research organizations, but commercial organizations. And so, I learn as I go, just like everyone who works with me on these companies learns as we go. I think we've benefited from the fact that we work in the area of glycoscience, and glycoscience has historically been kind of underappreciated, and I wouldn't say ignored entirely. That wouldn't be fair, but it's I would say not well understood and appreciated by mainstream biopharma. And a consequence of that is that there's so much great science and so many discoveries and innovations and technologies that have come from glycoscience in the last few decades, but have not yet been capitalized upon and monetized. So we have found that it's a wide open playing field. And every time we have a new discovery or a new technology in glycoscience, we start a company and we're the first in class. And then, followers arrive on the scene later. But it's kind of fun to be out there in such a wide open field, able to start companies in areas where, you have a leading edge in the science.